Yes, please. First, I'd like to say you most welcome to Iran and Kerman, to one of the historical and traditional cities in Iran. That the history of the city goes back to about 6,000 years ago. We have plenty buildings in this city that they goes back to very early. For example, this mosque, that the name of this mosque is Jame Mosque, and it goes back to 14th century. I mean, it has been built at 750 years ago in this area by one of the kings. His name was Amir Muhammad Mubarezaddin. And in different period, in some other part of this mosque had been built. For example, in the left side, it has been built at 250 years ago. Some part of the tails in the front that you are seeing, they have been built at 400 years ago. And the original part of this mosque that contains of this area and my behind, it goes back to 750 years ago. And many historical and political stories had been happened in this mosque before. For example, before the Islamic Revolution, when it was going to be raised, the people, they were collecting in this mosque and meeting and discussing about the revolutions. Okay, caravanserai is containing of two words, caravan and sera. Caravan means caravan. Sera means home. So the meaning of the caravanserai means the caravan's home or caravan's houses. It was plenty of these caravanserais in Iran because the Silk Road was passing through Iran, coming from Europe, Roma to China in aerial time. And as I had said, it was plenty caravanserai. Some caravanserai, they are in the roads, in the deserts. It means the caravans who they were traveling, They were stopping in those caravanserai for a while, for relaxing, for staying for 2 or 3 days. And there are many caravanserais in cities. Also in cities, this caravanserai, it was using for staying, and it was also the central of economic. For example, the caravans who they were bringing or carrying the materials, they in these locations they were buying again or selling their materials up to reach to the country or the idea they had. For example, China or India. This caravanserai had been built at about 230 years ago by one of the Kerman ruler. His name was Wakilul Mulk, and it was one of the biggest and prettiest caravanserai in Kerman that now is destroyed. I myself remember the time that the people they had business in this caravanserai. All these shops around this caravanserai, it was the shops for people and offices. These two buildings that we see in the left, one of them is the wind blower. Wind blower is contained of this kind of the building, and underneath it's a room. In the central of the room is a pool that was filling with cold water. So the wind was blowing through the top of that and was going down. And when it reached to the down and attacked to the water, it's reflecting a cold climate, cold weather at summer. And the tail of this caravanserai is so nice. And there are some organizations that they have decision to renew and rebuild it. And in future, I hope it will be a tourist motel in this area. Welcome.